Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Mark, and with me, as always, is the ever-curious Jenny.
And I'm Jenny, ready to dive into the tech world with Mark. Today, we're talking about a GPU that, quite frankly, has had a wild ride since its launch. We're talking about the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090. What is going on with this card in, mid-2025, Mark?
Oh man, Jenny. What's going on is exactly right. This card, launched back in late 2022, was supposed to be the ultimate gaming GPU, and it truly was a beast. But fast forward to mid-2025, and it's taken on a whole new life, a more diverse role, if you will.
A new life, you say? I keep seeing it pop up in conversations, not just about gaming, but about AI, about power issues, even counterfeits. It feels like it's almost more famous for its controversies now than its raw power.
You're hitting on something big there, Jenny. The RTX 4090 accidentally became an AI powerhouse. And when I say accidentally, I mean NVIDIA didn't market it for that initially. It was for gamers. But it had this one critical feature. 24 gigabytes of VRAM. That's video random access memory, for our listeners who might not be familiar.
Okay, wait, let me get this straight. Why did a gaming GPU become indispensable for AI startups? Isn't that what those big server-style GPUs like the H100s are for? The ones that are the size of a small car and cost a fortune?
Precisely. That's what they're for. And Jenny, those H100s cost a fortune. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars, easily. The 4090, while expensive at launch, around $1,600, suddenly offered a way for small AI studios and indie developers to do serious work without needing venture capital just for hardware. We're seeing data showing 78% adoption among indie AI labs. It can train complex models, like a 7 billion parameter Llama 3, at about 1/15 the cost of an H100 setup. Think of it as the Honda Civic of AI computation. Affordable, reliable, and gets the job done.
That's a staggering cost saving. No wonder its price surged. I saw in our research that its price actually went up to $200, which is over 37% above its launch price. That's the opposite of typical GPU depreciation. Usually, they drop like a stone, right?
Right? GPUs usually drop in value pretty quickly. But the 4090's resale value is still holding at around 92% of its MSRP. It defied gravity because of this unexpected AI demand. It simply had enough memory to run these large language models locally, which is huge for privacy, for iteration speed, and for cost control. It effectively democratized serious AI work.
So it democratized AI access, which is something special, but it certainly had its own set of growing pains, didn't it? The notorious power connector melting issue. How did a tiny connector nearly derail a $1,600 GPU, Mark?
The 1.2 VHPWR connector. That's a story in itself. About 4.2% of early units experienced melting. The problem was largely due to thermal cycling and poor contact between the cable and the GPU connector at high loads. These things draw 450 watts through a single connection, and if it's not perfectly seated, you get resistance, heat, and, well, a molten mess. Imagine plugging in your toaster, but if the plug wasn't pushed in all the way, parts of it just melted. It was a real headache for a lot of early adopters.
Burning $1,600 GPUs sounds like a horror movie twist, honestly. So what did NVIDIA do about it? Or did they just leave users hanging, hoping their expensive new card wouldn't, self-destruct?
NVIDIA did address it, but it took some time. They eventually integrated redesigned connectors with better spring tension and overmolding to ensure a more robust connection. The industry also adapted. Third-party manufacturers, like Asus with their Modurail designs, started incorporating reinforced connectors, which are almost becoming standard on premium models now. It's part of the reason you're seeing better reliability today. Fun fact, though. This crisis inadvertently proved how durable the GPU core itself was. Even with connectors melting around them, the actual chips often survived.
That's wild. Like Darwinism for hardware, as you sometimes say. Speaking of durability, let's talk about that power draw. 450 watts for one GPU? My whole PC used to draw less than that, Mark.
It's a beast, Jenny. That 450 watt total graphics power, or TGP, means you need substantial cooling. Our research shows 68% of professional workstations using the 4090 now have liquid cooling to manage that heat. But here's the paradox. It's actually 40% more efficient per watt than its predecessor, the RTX 3090. It gets more work done per watt, but because it's doing so much more, it still pulls a ton of power overall. It's like a high-performance sports car. It's efficient for its class, but it still guzzles more gas than a compact.
So it's more efficient but draws more power. That must be confusing for people. I mean, try explaining that to your utility bill. Or to the EU, whose regulations now actually penalize GPUs above 350 watts, right? It creates this kind of ethical tightrope.
Exactly. It's a tricky ethical tightrope. On one hand, it's pretty powerful technology, pushing boundaries. On the other, one of these GPUs can draw 6.3 times the power of an average household in the US during peak usage. The energy consumption debate is a real one. It highlights the tension between advancing technology and environmental impact. And for some, the cost of running it might make it inaccessible, which is a downside to this whole democratization concept.
So it might be democratizing AI, but it's perhaps gentrifying electricity bills? No, but really, users are finding ways to optimize, right? The community always pulls through with clever solutions.
They do, Jenny. Users are brilliant. Undervolting, for example, users found they could reduce the voltage, trim power draw down to around 415 watts, and still actually boost clock speeds by over 200 megahertz. It's squeezing that extra bit of performance and efficiency out of the card without pushing it to its thermal limits. It's like fine-tuning a car for better mileage without losing horsepower.
That's pretty clever. It feels like users are often solving problems that the manufacturers didn't quite foresee, or maybe didn't have time to fully optimize before launch. So, high power, connector issues, but also, this card's popularity opened the door for some serious market chaos, particularly with counterfeits.
Oh, the counterfeit market is rife. A recent investigation in June 2025 showed that out of 4 RTX 4090s submitted to a repair technician, 3 were found to be fake. They're often modded older RTX 30 series cards, dressed up to look like a 4090, perhaps with a flashed BIOS, to trick software into thinking it's the real deal. It's a huge problem for consumers, eroding trust in the secondhand market, and it highlights the chaotic nature of the GPU market right now. It's buyer beware, more than ever.
3 out of 4? That's concerning. How can buyers even spot these fakes in today's chaotic GPU market? Is there any way to protect yourself, Mark, besides just hoping for the best?
It's tough. You have to be incredibly vigilant. Look for incorrect QR code placement, strange substrate colors on the PCB, that's the circuit board itself, or missing capacitors. And always buy from authorized retailers. Avoid those, too good to be true, deals on sketchy marketplaces. Also, these cards created a whole ethical debate, like we mentioned, the power usage. And right to repair issues, given the proprietary connectors. iFixit only gave it a 4 out of 10 for repairability, which is not good.
So a powerful card, a flawed launch, an accidental pivot to AI, market chaos, and ethical dilemmas. What does this accidental legacy mean for NVIDIA's future designs, specifically for the 50 series we're hearing about?
That's the million-dollar question, Jenny. I think the 4090 inadvertently created what we're calling the prosumer category. It blurs the lines between gaming and professional use, creating this whole new segment. Rumors for the RTX 50 series, AI editions, already include 32 gigabytes of VRAM. That's a direct response to this AI demand. The PCIe Gen 6 standard is also mandating more fail-safe connectors, learning from the 4090's issues. It's a clear evolution, based on the 4090's unexpected journey.
So it seems like NVIDIA is leaning into this accidental success, which is smart. It's almost like the 4090 was a beta test for a whole new market segment they didn't even know they were targeting. Mark, this has been fascinating, but also a bit of a wild ride, tracing the life of this one GPU.
It truly has. The RTX 4090's story is a testament to how technology evolves, sometimes in unexpected ways, driven by user innovation and market demand. It's a powerful tool that, despite its challenges, has made a real impact on gaming, and especially on democratizing AI development. It shows that even with glitches, innovation finds a way.
And that probably speaks to where we're headed next. but we want to hear your take. If your GPU suddenly became an AI tool, would you push its limits or panic about the electric bill? Hit us on socials.
You know where to find us. For Jenny, I'm Mark, and we'll catch you next time.